Hey guys, welcome to the recording of School of Commerce. We're excited to have you here for another edition of School of Commerce to teach you about different e-commerce tips and tricks that will help you make more money from your store and just maximize on your full potential. This is a little different. Last week we had some technical difficulties with our live recording. So we're recording this and uploading it to YouTube and Facebook so you guys can get in on these tips and tricks that we talked about last week. Moving forward though, everything's going to be back to live and we'll hopefully have no more of those technical issues. So today we have a really exciting topic and it kind of follows along from our topic last week, which was talking about how to grow your email list. This week, we're talking about the emails that you need to be sending to those subscribers. So we're going to be going through different email templates, talking about those emails, maybe some tips of how you can create them and what you should include in them. And then just some other general emails, tips and tricks about email. And with me today, I have Sir Mike Tracolo, our resident email expert. He used to manage our email services here at Bold, so he knows a ton about email marketing. And if you saw last week's episode, he talked about how to increase the size of your email list. So he's a perfect person to chat with us about how to about the type of emails that you should be sending. Mike, it's great to have you here. And for the first time, we're sitting next to each other, which feels kind of odd because normally we are in separate rooms, but today, right here.
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit more intimate. It's great. So let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 types of emails you need to be sending. So let's go into to number 1. So the first type of email that you have to be sending is a welcome email, right? It's the email that's going to be sent as soon as someone subscribes to your mailing list. And arguably it's the most important because it's like the first impression they're going to get of your company, right? You got to make it a good one. So Mike, talk to me about a little bit about a welcome email, what it should contain, and some examples of good ones.
Sure. Well, when I think of a welcome email, what I think about is it's as if a customer is walking into your actual store. So, it's the first time that you see them. You want to greet them. You want to say, hey, thanks for stopping by. Obviously, they've given you your email address, so you know what I mean. They're looking to find out a little bit more about your store. So kind of walk them through what they can expect. Say thanks for signing up. Here's when you can expect to get some emails. Here's a little bit of the content that maybe you can expect, and just kind of get that nice welcome feeling, so that they know when they get an email from you next time, it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah, and you're almost like setting the stage for the like you said, the experience they're going to be getting going forward. And the way we have here on the screen here is an email from GQ, and what they do is they confirm that you're in the list. Because nowadays with emails, there's a lot of policies and there's a lot of rules and regulations about how you manage your email list, and sometimes you have to verify your email before you're going to get the emails, and you got to click a link and you got to do all this kind of stuff. They do a good job of saying, hey, you're in, like this is done, you're signed up, there's nothing more you need to do. I think that's a great way to confirm that someone is in the email list rather than having them wonder if they actually signed up or if they still there's still something they need to do.
And what I particularly like about that is that they kind of take it a step further. They're not necessarily welcoming you to the list, but to a club, to the family, to be a part of their team. You know what I mean? So I guess a tip would be to make it less about welcoming them to a list and just welcoming them to like an inclusive club. You know what? It's something special and it's something that they're a part of. The more you can make them feel like they're a part of something awesome, I think the more responsive they'll be to your emails.
100%. So that's the first email that you have to be sending as a welcome email, right? So if you are working on your email series, start with your welcome email, make it great, set the experience, and set the tone for the other emails you're going to be sending, 4 of which we're going to be talking about right now. So let's get into it. So next email that we're going to be talking about is the first purchase email. So pretty self-explanatory. This is the email someone gets when they make a purchase, and not just makes a purchase. This is not the order confirmation email. This is when they make a first purchase. So somebody's just bought into your store, they bought it for the first time. You want to send an email to them, welcoming them to your store, welcoming them to your community, and also just informing them of their first purchase. So Mike, why do you think a first purchase email is so important for an e-commerce store?
I would say that the first purchase email is really important because you're essentially turning a prospective customer into an actual customer. So when somebody initially signs up for your list, they'll get that welcome email. They might not have made a purchase yet, But after they make that purchase, they're really signing on the dotted line, and they're really making a commitment to your store. So you just want to, once again, tell them thanks. And what I found works really well, and I've seen it time and time again, maybe giving them a little bit of an incentive, a little bit of a thank you for making that purchase. What's worked really well in the past is, a 10% discount on their next order. So you say, thanks, you know what, here's 10% off your next order. They're so jazzed right now that they made a purchase, where all they could make a new purchase right off the bat. But if anything, you're setting it up for success for a recurring purchase, giving them that option to maybe take that next step and actually make a recurring purchase.
And it's funny you mentioned that, Mike. I can vouch for the coupon code. I run my own e-commerce store, and I include a 5% discount on the first purchase somebody makes in their email confirmation, and it kind of goes something along the lines of like, thanks for shopping. While you wait for your product to arrive, here's 5% off your next order. Go back and shop today. And we've seen a lot of people use that coupon code, and I think it's a great way to just incentivize them to come back for a second time. I was initially kind of concerned that maybe they asked to have that discount code applied to their first order so quickly after placing an order, but no one said anything. So I think it's a great way to encourage repeat purchases, and just again adding value to emails, right? Because if someone sees there's a discount code hidden in not hidden in the email but included, it kind of like, oh wait, this is awesome. I got to read these emails now because they include coupon codes. So again, you're setting the pace and the expectations for what your emails will include
100%
going forward. So we have some other emails that we're going to include. We have some examples of Nike here and an eyeglass company. Mike, do you want to speak on these examples we have?
Sure. I think what's really good about these emails here is they really put the product in front of your eyes again. So having a nice hero image, or if you can show the people what they've just purchased, having that remembrance of what they just purchased works really well. One thing that also works really well, kind of a bit of an addition to giving that coupon code. What I would recommend doing is also including some recommended products in that actual first purchase email. So you're thanking them, you're giving that opportunity to make a repeat purchase, but you're also including some products that they might like as well. That could just take it that next step, just making it really easy for them to make another purchase. So I think that would be something that you should consider if you are sending a first purchase email.
No, and that's smart. And for you store owners out there that are getting into your email confirmations the first time, you're just kind of getting into the process of editing them. There's a few ways you could include products. If you know a bit of code, you can go into your Shopify settings and you can kind of code in different products to appear in your order confirmations. Or if you use MailChimp, and you can actually use MailChimp to send your order confirmations instead of Shopify, and MailChimp will automatically pull in recommended products automatically for you, so you don't have to set it up. Or there's many good services. I know on a prior week of School of Commerce, we had Spently, who's an email marketing company on, and they showed us how their app can allow you to add recommended products directly into email notifications. So I think all of those three options, if you're looking to do that, would be great solutions to look for.
Totally.
Next, this is one of the most important, and the next one we're going to talk about, as you guys can see on the screen, is abandoned cart email. So this, again, pretty self-explanatory. Is if somebody adds something to your cart, they maybe go to make the purchase, but they don't click checkout. At the last minute, they decide they leave the store, they leave something in the cart without making that purchase. What do? Well, the best thing you can do is you can send them an email and ask them why they didn't make the purchase, ask them if they have questions, or maybe provide them an incentive to complete that purchase. So, Mike, talk to me a little bit about abandoned cart emails, why you think they're important, and we have an example here at Casper, what they do well.
Sure. Well, let's face it, we've all shopped online before, and some of us haven't actually, we put that product in our cart and haven't committed to it. Sometimes you just get distracted. It happens, or maybe you're even shopping at 2 a.m. and you just close your computer and then you forget about it. So what's really great about the abandoned cart email is it's essentially just nudging them and reminding your customers of something that they did leave in their cart. If you didn't give them that opportunity, they might just completely forget about it. It happens. Sometimes you just forget. But if you do give that little nudge and remind them that there's an item in their cart, you'd be surprised at how often they just go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Boom, make that purchase, and then you're set to go after that.
For sure. I've fallen victim, I say victim to this a lot, online shopper, on Amazon where I have something in my cart and I leave it and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make the purchase today. If the item goes on sale like 30 days later and it's still in my cart, Amazon always sends me an email and says, hey, it's 30% cheaper now. Would you like to buy it? Would you like to buy it now? And most of the time I do, because I probably didn't buy it because of price, and now it's cheaper. So then I make the purchase. So it's so strong of an incentive to send an email just trying to complete that purchase.
One tip / trick that I found really works is actually not necessarily just sending one email, but turning it into a general series. I think that I've definitely seen it personally where you'll get that reminder that there's an item in your cart. Sure, you don't act on it, but then you get another email reminding you again. So when I set abandoned cart emails, I set them up as a series. So how I typically do it, I would send an email maybe an hour or two after the item's in their cart, just kind of reminding them, saying, hey, did you forget about something? Then after that, I would send an email maybe 24 hours after that, kind of still reminding them. And then ultimately, if you send another email maybe 48 to 72 hours after that with a little bit of an incentive, maybe we'll take care of the shipping on this order, or take 5% off your total if you complete your purchase now. The more opportunity you give people to actually complete their purchase, the better off you'll be to increase your bottom line and get them to make those purchases.
100%. And you can see some of those examples in the screen that we're sharing right now. Some of the value prompts in these emails are saying, hey, are you confused? Do you have questions? And other ones are just like, hey, did you forget something? So there's definitely a couple ways to approach it. And for store owners who are looking to set up abandoned cart emails and don't know where to begin, you have a few options. On basic plans, Shopify does have a built-in abandoned cart function. If you go in your Shopify admin and you click on, I believe it's under orders, you'll see an option for abandoned carts, and you can go in there and you can manually send those people email. So in the beginning, when you're getting started, you can go in and manually send emails to people trying to recover the cart. As your store grows, if you move to the more of the advanced Shopify plans, they actually have built-in support for it, so it'll do it automatically. So again, you can just automatically have the text to show in there and save yourself a bit of time. Or Spendly or MailChimp are both great options as well. They both do this, and they'll allow you to automate your abandoned cart email so that if somebody does leave, an email will automatically be sent, predetermined time afterwards. And you can include a coupon code, you can include whatever you like in that email. And those are great ways to make money from the traffic that you have, right? Because we all know people aren't necessarily going to convert their first visit. This is a great way to kind of add some value to that the customer that's already left your store.
And the fact that the items are actually in their cart, they've made that next step. So you've already got them. You might as well capitalize as much as you can.
No, that's a very good point. All right, so let's go to the next one. This one is probably one that I would say most stores are doing right now, but we think maybe you could be doing it better, and that is the bulk email, the promotional email. I know we're all every e-commerce store is guilty of sending emails to their entire database, and we could go on for hours talking about how to segment your lists and be very specific about the types of emails you send to different groups of users. But at the end of the day, we all send emails to our entire database and just say, hey, here's a promotion, here's a new product, etc. So there's still value in doing that. But some stores do it better than others. So Mike, when it comes to like bulk mailer promotional emails, what do you think is like the best strategies, to put into play when you're sending these emails?
Some of the best strategies are to, follow the seasons. Follow the holiday pattern. It's a really good opportunity for you to advertise your sale to these people and to your customers. And if you're having sort of any types of sales on your store, sending them an email just to announce that, to generate some general awareness is really good. But what's really great about the bulk mailer email is that it is going out to your entire list. So it's giving you an opportunity to not only make awareness for what it is that you're trying to advertise or to sell, but it also kind of gives you another opportunity to maybe wake up some customers who maybe haven't made a purchase in a while. Just get your brand back in their inbox, and just to showcase what you've got going on. It's really hard to get your message out there all the time. So if you are having a great sale, or you're having a promotional offer, or you're having a featured product, this is one of the best ways to get that information out there.
For sure, and you can see an example of this on our screen. Rifle paper is showing like 25% off. These new products won't last long, and we have some other examples on the screen here. Mike, I'm gonna ask you a question. Everyone seems to have different opinions on this. How frequently do you think it's acceptable to send these bulk emails? And so what I mean by that is, some people may send once a week. They'll send a bulk email to the list. Some people once per month. What do you personally think is like acceptable, or what do you think is over the edge as far as spamming, you could say, your database?
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable getting an email once a month from the brands that I follow. Once you give a brand or a Shopify store your email, you're wanting to actually learn more about their store. You're wanting to find out what's coming up the pipeline. So knowing what's going on in their store, maybe once a month would be great. You do have to watch it. It is a thin line to be sending too many emails, because if you send once a week and it's too much for somebody and they click unsubscribe, you've lost that customer, and it's going to be hard to get them back. So you just want to be aware that you don't want to appear too spammy. But if you do have something going on, if it's something that you want to let people know, I say send the email. You know what I mean? There's no fast and loose actual rules to sending them. But if you've got something you want to tell them about, why not send them an email?
No, I couldn't agree more. And my piece of advice that I've always given stores when they've asked me this question is to watch your data. Your customers, one way or another, will tell you if you're sending too many emails, whether that's verbally by them, hey, you're sending too many emails, or unsubscribing. If you see a huge spike in your unsubscribe, if you see a huge drop in your opens or click rates, keep an eye on that, because I think a lot of store owners might think, oh man, my open rate dropped, or my click rate dropped, and they look at the email, right? They look at the email and they're like, maybe my email template is not good anymore, or maybe just the content wasn't attractive enough. But look on the other emails you sent. How recently was your last email sent? Because maybe it's just people are sick of hearing about you, or maybe it's just too recent, right? Because we all have a capacity for receiving emails. Just keep an eye on that as well. Okay, we're on to our next email. So this is the idle customer email. So customers maybe bought from you a while ago, maybe they visited you a while ago, made an account, and they haven't come back. For one reason or another, they decided to not revisit your store recently. So we think it's a great idea to send an email to them to say, hey, we miss you, come back.
Exactly.
Why haven't you come back? So Mike, tell me a little bit about what strategies to include in this email, and maybe when to send it, and just about the email in general.
Yeah, this email is really it's really great to remind customers why they signed up for your email, or to receive emails from you in the first place. They made that purchase. Maybe it was a specific product that they really liked. They obviously like your brand. They obviously like what you have to offer. Maybe they just haven't had a chance to see what's cooking. So I think it's safe to say maybe 3 to 6 months. You could even push it to 6 to 8 months, depending on how comfortable you are sort of waking that customer up, and then showing them what it is they missed, reminding them what they have to offer, and trying to win them back. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity for you to maybe give them a bit of an incentive too, to come back. We miss you. Come on back. Take a percentage off of your next order, because that way you're going to get them back in your email flow. You're going to get them back. You're going to get them back in the cycle, and you're going to be able to send them more emails and ultimately have them hopefully make those repeat purchases.
Ultimately, right? And I mean, the whole point of this email is to take people who, they haven't been used for in 6 months. Who knows? Maybe they're never going to come back. And this is a way just to kind of to reel them in before they get too far. And this is more of an advanced email, I would say. If you are a new store owner and you've been running your store for say a year and you have some of those customers haven't come back, there's multiple ways you could set up emails like this. You could use built-in Shopify data. You could export from your customers view, a report of customers who haven't bought in the past 6 months or 3 months, and then you could import that list into a service like MailChimp, or just email them manually if there's not that many. Or again, an automated service like Spently is great because it will pull in data like this for you and will automate it. But we understand, if you're a new store owner and you don't have the money to spend on an app, importing into MailChimp would work well.
Totally.
And we got another example on the screen here. Just like, this one's great because it's yogurt. We miss you. We're going to give you a free yogurt. So they're just giving a free product to somebody who hasn't come back in a while. And I think that, you may not be able to implement that on your store. Giving away free products isn't easy.
Yeah.
But as Mike mentioned, free coupon code, maybe a free shipping offer, something like that would be a great way to bring them back as well.
And I mean, just it's a really honest email to send. You genuinely do miss them as a customer. They gave you their email, and you just want to continue that relationship. So using kind of that banter, we do miss you. Come on back. Here's what we have to offer. Really treating them like a customer. You'd be surprised at how easy it is to actually get them back, and how it really works.
Yeah, and the one thing I'd like to add about this email, and more so than any other email that we've sent, probably, I figure this is the most important email to be light and to be friendly and maybe a little bit jokey if it matches with your brand. You see all these emails we've shown you, we're talking about like, we miss you, they're kind of all like being intimate about it. And I think that when you're emailing customers that haven't come back for a while, they once a customer and they haven't come back for a while, I think you kind of got to play it off a little bit more light. You don't want to be too hard on the sales pitch because, again, these people haven't come back for one reason or other, and you don't want to, upset them. So being light, being friendly, including a picture of, say, Lionel Richie saying hello or something like that. I mean, being friendly like that would be a great way to, to bring them back, rather than being too salesy. So keep that in mind.
That's a really great point, Kevin.
So let's go into some pro tips. We covered off the emails that you should be sending. Let's go into some more of the details. So making it personal, having a clear call to action, split testing your emails. So Mike, making it personal. What do you mean by making it personal? How do you make an email personal?
Anytime that you can, you use your customer by name or remind them of what they purchased. It's really great if you can send a follow-up email. How's your last purchase coming? Did it arrive as you expected? You know what I mean? Really treating them like a customer. I think it goes a really long way. You're treating them as if you would treat them in real life. So I think that's really helpful. You mentioned having a clear call to action, and I think that is one of the most valuable pieces of advice that anybody can walk away from our talk today. If you don't have a call to action, it's almost as if you don't need to be sending that email. The reason why you're sending these emails is because you want your customers to take an action. If you're showing them a product, a feature product, if you want them to come back, if there's something in their cart, you want them to take an action. So when you're thinking about why you're sending this email, always consider it to have a call to action. And if there's no call to action, maybe rethink, is this an email that I should be sending? I think that's a really valuable tip, and that's something that I've seen along the way.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make it easy for your customer to make a decision, right? You don't want to toss a bunch of stuff their way and then wonder what the point of the email is. If it's just very clear, shop now, do this. They can say, yep, nope, delete it and move on, and again, they're probably not going to unsubscribe. The last thing you mentioned is like split testing your emails, and this is something that I definitely feel passionate about doing. And I see this, I go on the Shopify forums often, and I'll be responding to customers, to stores who are asking for feedback and help. And the idea of split testing, of course, is sending an email, seeing how it works, seeing what the kind of data you get, performance, and then making a change to it, seeing how it works with that group of users, and then continuing to do that over and over again to refine what's like the best performing email. And the one tip I have around split testing emails is not using your head too much, and not thinking that what's going to do best. I know often we'll have stores that come to us and say, okay, I know this is the best email I could be sending, but like it's the best email that you think you could be sending.
Sure.
Your customers are different, right? So when it comes to split testing your emails, Mike, hopefully you agree with this. I think you got to go out of the box a little bit. I think you got to make take some chances, and I think you can't assume that you know what's best for your customers. I think you got to let the data tell you what's going on. If people aren't opening your emails, I don't think you should send more of them. I think you should start making some changes, even though you think it may be a perfect email. I think you got to make some changes.
Definitely, and when it does come to split testing, one thing that you should remember is try not to change too many things. You know what I mean? If you are split testing an email, maybe just start with the subject line, or maybe start by just changing the hero image, or changing the copy from long form to short form. The more you change your email, the less sort of concrete data you're going to have as to the results that you're seeing. If you change 3 things, you're not really going to necessarily know which one of those things that you changed was actually resulting in the different data you have there. So just changing one thing at a time, I think, is a really good start, especially if you're new to split testing emails.
Oh, 100%. I can agree more. Well, so that covers our talk today on the emails, the 5 emails that you should be sending to your email database. I hope you guys have appreciated this and got something out of it. We here at Bold are trying to do everything we can to help you guys succeed with your Shopify stores in the e-commerce world. And that's why we do School of Commerce, specifically for that reason. We're just coming up on half a year of School of Commerce, which it's been a ride, and we're looking forward to the second half of the year, which is arguably the most busy half with Black Friday and Christmas time and the holidays.
Yeah, no doubt.
So keep an eye out for more School of Commerce lessons from us. And if you guys have any questions at all about emails, about prior lessons, post in the comments. Whether you're on YouTube watching this or on Facebook, comment and ask us a question about your situation, or maybe if you're having some struggles with certain types of emails on your store, let us know. We're willing to just provide free support to help you out and give us give you our opinion.
Yeah.
And like I said, help you succeed. So thanks, Mike, for joining me. It's great to have you side by side here. And we'll see you guys in a week's time.
It's always a pleasure.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye for now.